So for my academic presentation, I just wanted to go over Shirley Chisholm. I did this for one of my social studies classes, so I'm just going to talk about her some. So who was she? She was the first African American woman in Congress and first woman in African American to seek nomination for the President of the United States. Many people think it's Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris, but it was actually Shirley. She was originally born in New York, Brooklyn specifically, to immigrant parents, and her entire life fought for the lives of all people, specifically minorities, and that's really focused in her career. This is just a timeline of some significant events from Shirley's life. She was born in 1924. She graduated from high school in 1942. In 1946, she graduated from Brooklyn College with a BA in sociology. In 1949, she got married and she worked as a nursery school teacher. In 1951, she graduated from Columbia University with a master's in early childhood education. And then in 1960, she was working as a consultant for the New York division of daycare, and she started joining local leagues of the League of Women Voters, the NAACP, the Urban League, and the Democratic Party Club. Some more significant events. In 1964, she ran for the New York State Legislature and became the second African American woman to ever win. In 1968, she ran for Congress and won, becoming the first African American woman in Congress. In 1971, she co-founded more organizations, co-founding the National Women's Political Caucus and the Congressional Black Caucus. In 1972, this is when she ran for the Democratic Party presidential nomination and lost. In 1977, she got divorced and then remarried, but she became the first Black woman and second woman to ever serve the House Rules Committee. In 1983, she retired from Congress and instead went into teaching, and this is when she also co-founded the National Political Congress of Black Women. She died in 2005 at 80 years old from a stroke. What were her dreams and goals? She really was wanting to just improve the lives of everybody, but specifically minorities, given her background growing up economically disadvantaged and as a black woman, she definitely understood what it was like to be racially discriminated against, so that was really what drove her to do what she did. These were just some goals of hers. When it came to economic opportunity, she wanted fair wages, universal health care, increased spending on education, and social services. For women's rights, she wanted rights and access to abortion and birth control, equal education and wages, and the Equal Rights Amendment. For racial equality, she wanted to end racism, fund scholarships for minority students, and also create space for African American women in politics. She was very opposed to the Vietnam War and wanted to end the military draft, reduce defense spending and weapon development, and direct war funding elsewhere. For ending poverty, she wanted to broaden food stamps, establish WIC, expand the minimum wage standards, and improve inner city conditions. This was just some more of her accomplishments. She was the co-president of the National Association for the Repeal of Abortion Laws. She served in the New York State Legislature for 4 years. She introduced more than 50 pieces of legislation while she was in office. She wrote 2 autobiographies, co-founded the Congressional Black and National Women's Political Caucus. She served on the Veterans Affairs and Education and Labor Committee. Some more accomplishments: she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, represented her district for 7 terms, entered 12 primaries, and ended up garnering 152 of the delegate votes. She was nominated to be the U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica by Bill Clinton, and she also served as the Secretary of the House Democratic Caucus. This is just some cool pictures that I found. This is her oath certificate when she got into Congress. This was an election poster from her, and her photo with Rosa Parks. What did she do to impact today? Well, she paved the way for women and African Americans. She is responsible in helping the establishment of WIC, and she's also responsible in co-founding congressionally the Black Caucus, National Women's Political Caucus, and National Association for the Repeal of Abortion Laws, which all of these organizations are still active today. These were just some fun quotes from Shirley, one of them being, "I'm looking to no man walking this earth for approval of what I'm doing. The tremendous amount of talents are lost to our society just because that talent wears a skirt, and the emotional, sexual, and physiological stereotyping for females begins when the doctor says it's a girl." These quotes I kind of feel like just wrap everything in that we just talked about from Shirley. And these are just my references.